This tutorial explains the properties of digital and analog sensors and shows how they can be used with the BBC microbit. The special property of digital sensors is that they only have two states, on or off, high or low. The most common examples are switches, which can be open or closed, and push buttons, which can be in a pressed or a free state. Computer programs use the signals from digital sensors in two main ways. The first is where the instruction depends upon the state of the sensor. That is, where the instruction is checking to see if it is in an open or closed state. The instruction for the switch shows us an example of this. When the switch is closed, switch on the main light until the switch is open. Each condition is checking the state of the switch. The second type of use is where the instruction waits for a change in the state of the sensor. The instruction for the button shows an example of this. This time, each condition is checking for a change in the state of the button, and the different language reflects this. When the button gets pressed, switch on the fan until the button gets pressed again. We say that the condition is checking for an event rather than a state. The event condition allows a button press to both switch on and switch off the fan. Look out for gets to spot an event condition. Let's make some changes so that both the switch and the button control the fan. When we select Design Mode, we can see the control modules. Module 2 controls the fan. Drag a line from when to the switch. The condition now depends upon both the button and the switch. For the switch, we'll choose Is Closed. So the instruction now reads, when the button gets pressed and the switch is closed. What about the until condition? It doesn't make sense for the fan to continue running if the switch is open, so once again drag a line to the switch. This time we will choose OR, and we want the Is Open condition. Now the instruction is complete. Until the button gets pressed or the switch is open. Let's see how it works in run mode. We can see the button has no effect unless the switch is closed. It is common for control systems to check to see what two sensors are doing, and you have to think whether the condition should combine them with AND or logic. Moving away from digital sensors like buttons and switches, analog sensors are different because they send a range of numbers to a control module. Here are some examples. A sound sensor or microphone, light sensor, temperature sensor, accelerometer for detecting motion, and a tilt sensor. Versions of all these are built into the microbit. Let's see what we can do with a temperature sensor. In run mode, we can adjust the temperature with this slider. According to the program instruction, the heater is switched on when the temperature drops below 10 degrees and switches off when the temperature is above 10. This is exactly what happens. In design mode, You can see the condition settings for the instruction. Show the tabs, drag a line from when to the thermometer, and the same for until. You can alter these settings to switch off the heater when it gets too hot, say 22 degrees, and perhaps switch it on below a more comfortable room temperature, say 18 degrees. As a further challenge, you could alter Module 2 to switch on the fan when it gets very hot, say 25 degrees. Finally, you can make the microbit perform the control with real sensors and devices. A switch on the door controls the light, a button controls the fan, the temperature sensor controls the heater. You can learn how to make all the connections in the next tutorial.